I always want to hit that connect button. It's like it's an obsession with me. It doesn't matter if it needs.
I'm obsessed.
It is. It does. I know it doesn't need to be hit, but I hit it anyways. I'm like this. I hover. I'm like it doesn't need to be hit.
You can hit the go live
and
button.
I click it anyways.
There we go. Now
like,
we're live.
I want to just click that button.
Hey, hello. Hello to everybody out there that's watching.
Check.
Check.
Is it on? I don't know if it's on. Is it on?
Is it on?
Am I on? Are we on? Oh, this camera's froze.
Which camera's froze?
This one here.
Oh, yeah.
It froze on my bald spot, no less.
Well, just don't switch to that camera.
Bald spot.
Bald spot.
Oh, man. What time is it here? Let me get my shit together here.
All right, so that's a refresh of that page.
There.
Hey, there's Maker Mike's and Derek Matthews. Hello, fellas.
Ben and Tim on Facebook.
Ben and Tim on Facebook. As soon as I get to Facebook, there we are. I found Facebook.
Franco de Scala.
Franco de Scala, Ben Coe, Jim McGregor, Tim Hoogland. What's up? What's up? Tim Hoogland says, and we're doing good. RT, there's Richard Taylor, our good friend.
Look at all these prompt, responsible people showing up to work on time today.
On time today. I am severely, severely tired, guys. You're going to have to bear with me today. We got some stuff we're going to talk about. I'm going to get into talking about some of our changes to Patreon because I know some of you guys are Patreon subscribers, and I want to keep you guys going. Tim Hoogland, you and I have to talk very soon.
He's only gets sound out of his left ear. Clean out your right ear, Tim.
That's called a Q-tip, Tim.
Yeah. Q-tip to the right ear.
We are streaming in stereo.
Streaming in stereo.
Actually able to make this one.
Hi, Brian.
Ben says. Hey, there's Brian Baker. Man, that notifier on YouTube's garbage. It sure is. Rich, you're peaking a bit today. Okay, well. How's that? Is that better? I just turned myself down here a little bit. That's all. This mic picks up a lot more than regular.
Yeah, and guys, if you find the volume to be a bit loud, there's usually a volume button on your computer somewhere or your phone.
No, but if I'm peaking, it sounds like distortion and it sounds like crap.
It start cutting out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't show you're peaking on the bars here. I usually kind of look for that. Either way,
Comic-Con-like events are for the very young.
Yes, sir,
in body, Maker Mike says, or Maker Mike says, not just heart and mind. That is very true. That is very true. So, hey, we're almost there. We'll run that intro in a minute or two.
Run that intro? Let's run that intro.
Let's run that intro. Hey, welcome to the first layer. This is Coffee with Rich, our Wednesday live stream now. And I'm your host, Richard Cleveland. So happy that you are here with me today. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm a little tired from the weekend. I took yesterday off. I should have been in here working on stuff, but I took yesterday off. These two gals that you see on the table were unfinished painted, so we brought them home with us. I want to finish painting them. And then this little Mewtwo is from our very own Jess Corniching. You guys have probably saw some of the pictures of this on Facebook. Her very first airbrushing project. So that was kind of cool. And then she finished up Spidey here. We printed him quite a while ago, and she got into painting Spidey, so it was pretty cool. So Derek Morris, it was a pleasure to see you there as well. Derek brought us a nice big bottle of beer. And I have not even cracked it yet. I'm going to actually crack it here on Friday for our 100th episode, and I hope you guys will all join us for that. We'll have Jess on the line. We'll have who else will be here? You'll be here.
I'll be here.
Frank will be here. I'll be here. We might even get Derek in here to you guys can finally see who he is. So what happens when nobody buys coffee or Rich?
No, see what happens when nobody buys coffee or Richard coffee. So you see what happens?
You still are going to get 3 shows a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's just easier for me to record Monday and Friday. Mondays around here are just a disaster. So I always come on and I'm kind of brain farty at that time. So what we're going to do today is first and foremost, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about the changes to Patreon. I know I brought it up on the quick little video I did while we were on the road on Monday. So I'm just going to go into that right now. As of July 1st, this is when this all takes place, as of July 1st. There will be a $1 tier, and what that $1 tier is just access to my public Patreon feed. And I am going to do a lot more stuff on that public Patreon feed. And of course, my eternal gratitude, because every dollar helps to keep this show afloat. At the $3 tier, it's going to give you access to my complete Patreon feed. Works in progress, upcoming projects, random pictures of what I'm working on, and some behind the scenes fun. Plus, any completed 3D printing project photo sets before anybody else gets them. So we're going to be taking lots of pictures as we go through and complete projects. You guys are going to get to see them first on Patreon before they go to Instagram and go up to Facebook. So I hope that is good. The $5 is changing a little bit. You'll get access to all of my 3D printing and painting tutorials. And I'm going to keep doing those on a very regular basis. There'll be 2 per week. 2. See, I'm really pushing that 2. And it's going to be ongoing help, gives access to private messages as well. So I will be able to spend some time with you, along with any other project videos I produce for you, 3D printing upgrades, electronics, lightings, all that other kind of stuff, and anything else I can cook up in my feeble little 3D printed brain. Also, as contributing Patreons and members of this community, you'll get your name at the end of every video. I am doing a card with everybody's name on it. Now, before I get into the $10 tier, because you guys know that's kind of where we end right now, all of the bricks that I have already designed but have yet to print because I've been so busy, I will start printing in the next week because I just have to finish fixing the printer that is going to be printing them all, and that's just going to churn out bricks. And you guys will get your bricks. You guys will have a special message on the back from me for that. I hope you guys display your bricks well, and we're also going to have a place here in the studio for your bricks as well. So let's get on to the $10 tier, and then I'm going to start getting into questions here real quick. You'll still get a brick at the $10 tier. You won't get one and below, but anybody who's signed up before July 1st will get their brick. What else? You'll have access to my monthly Google Hangout webcam. I'm going to be doing a monthly Google, usually the last Sunday of the month, Hangout. That'll be 10 people rotating in and out, and I'll be on that from anywhere from, 4 hours, 3 hours, whatever it takes. Maximum 4 hours, though. This allows me to chat and geek out with you guys a little bit. And I get to see your 3D projects at that point. I'll also be doing a monthly giveaway. This could be anything from a completed 3D print to some swag or surprise box of geek items. You never know what you're going to get. And that's it at the $10 tier, so a little bit has changed there. We have a $20 tier coming. You'll receive a discount code for any of our items in store. This will be a permanent 20% discount discount code for our store. It will be coming very soon. We've got the domain at shopthefirstlayer.com, and it will be part of our regular website. And right now we're going to have the keychains and t-shirts in there, but we will be rolling out brand new stuff. You'll also get a laser cut keychain at that $20 rate, and you will also get access to any new items we put in the store before anybody else. So you'll get a chance to check them out, and that includes any ebooks that I do, any DVDs, any new apparel, whether it be hats, special t-shirts. You guys will have access to that first before anybody does, okay? And then there will be a $50 tier, which will get you a t-shirt and a keychain that shows you are a supporter of the first layer, because you guys are great. You'll also get a special executive producer credit at the end of the show, and a one-on-one private Skype mentoring session with me for 30 minutes to an hour each month that you are at that $50 level. So every month we can spend an hour together on Skype, okay? And I will go through anything that you need me to go through, and I will walk you through anything that I need to walk you through. Now, there is a $100 tier level, and I've added this to tie into a service I've been doing for a long time, and outside of Patreon, which is a one-on-one private Skype session. This is going, again, it's going to be a mentoring session, but the length of this is going to be anywhere from 1 hour all the way to, I believe I'm going 2 hours on that one. Yeah, you'll get my, 1 to 2 hours. You get my undivided attention, one-on-one, and we can do that via Skype. You will also, you can ask me anything about 3D printing, software, hardware, anything, painting. Again, it's a longer session. And that's pretty much it for now. You'll also get, at those tiers, you'll also get your t-shirts and your key rings and your bricks and so on and so forth. So I hope that is good with you guys. We're going to start that July 1st. So from July 1st on, you guys will see brand new projects. The project that we're going to start first is Dark Side by 3D artist Emilio Vitt from EV Props. I did Dark Side already. You guys saw some pictures of that, but I no longer have it. A gentleman at Pentacon this past weekend could not live without it, so I did sell it to him. And I'm going to do another one from scratch, right from my settings. When I do these series, it's going to be everything from picking the model from my settings. I'll walk you through all the settings that I do, slicing the model, what software I use. I will also do it both in S3D and Cura. So you'll see how they slice in both different softwares. We'll print it out. You guys get a time lapse of that, and then we will we'll jump into putting them together. Once we've hit that putting him together, like assembling the model, that's where the freebie stops. So the YouTube, Facebook, that series will pick up exclusively on Patreon until the series is done. Then that will be condensed down to 20 minutes or so for YouTube and Facebook. So everybody's going to get to see it, but those people that are at the $5 level or higher will get to see every brush stroke, every material I use to do filling, how I do nice, clean, straight lines. You're going to get to see all of that. So I hope that entices you guys to at least get in at the $5 level and see more of the finishing of 3D models. Because, I mean, we can do 3D models all day long, but do we want to have just pieces of gray or blue or green plastic on our shelves, or do we want to bring them to life like you see here? I prefer to bring them to life because I think that's part of the art and it's part of the hobby. That being said, that pretty much covers Patreon. Let me have a look at your questions here.
Two things. Jess needs you to say hi to her or she's going to blow a conniption.
Hi, Jess.
There you go, Jess.
Love you, Jess. Miss you, Jess. I hope you're doing well, Jess.
And Brian wants to know if you're running the brick printer with a volcano hot end.
No.
There you go, buddy.
No, I am not running the brick printer with a volcano hot end. I'm going to print them out at 0.2. That gives a nice layer height. It gives nice, clean infill, and it looks great. So that will be that. You flagger, Jess. I saw that. You're a flagger.
She's calling me a flagger. I'm not sure what that means.
No, it's a private joke between Jess and I.
Oh, well. If I don't know what it means, then it's not funny.
It's not funny to you, but it is to her, because she's
enough.
probably laughing her ass off right now. All right, let's get over to, I got to answer some questions here today. You going to relay live questions to me? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I always do.
I'm going to get into the community questions over here.
I'm supposed to say flagger. Oh,
Flagger.
there you go.
Okay,
Flagger.
I've said it. I've said it more than once now. Stop making me say it again.
They're all a bunch of flaggers. Hey, flaggers, ask us your questions.
Okay. Torque on Facebook goes, CR10S firmware update. There is one available. Really what's happening now is the CR10S firmware is available from Creality. It can be downloaded on the GitHub. I believe we've had past videos where we've put a link to it. I'll see if I can't get you a link to it later on, but there is one up there. It shows you, and there's a whole video on me walking you through how to do the update on your CR10S, not a CR10. This is something that we've been running into a little bit of an issue, and maybe it's my fault, because the CR10S and the CR10 are built on two different mainboard architectures. So if you have a CR10S, you have a Sanguillo board in there. Or pardon me, if you have a CR10, you have a Sanguillo board, which means you need to have a bootloader in order to update the firmware. On the CR10S, it is built around the Arduino at Mega chip, 2560, I believe. So it's basically an Arduino Mega that is inside there, and you do not need a bootloader on a CR10S, okay? This has still been a problem on the firmware update. Sarabu, Saloki, I totally butchered that name. Was having a problem with the error of the advanced pause feature and the nozzle park feature. That is in the notes underneath that video, and it tells you how to correct that error. Here's one that I should go through. It says, this is from Nomad 8324. Use the exact settings here on the knockoff CR10S that replaced with a Creality 2.1 board and display. Works nice, except it insists to print around 1 millimeter or so too low, despite several bed levelings and even bed level in the settings. Annoying. Have to use baby stepping to immediately adjust the Z up to get the print that does not extrude several layers due to being too close to the bed. Any ideas? What you probably have, the error that you probably have there is your Z offset is not set correctly. So what I would do is go back and tweak that Z offset, and once you've done that, you should be fine. More questions on this sounds like it's going to be a firmware day.
We've got some on YouTube as well.
Okay, let's go to
Brian Baker has some comments there too.
let's go to Dorsey here.
Drossi, I was answering that here.
Drossi, yeah. Do you print nylon on the CR10? You can. I do not, however. Nylon, again, is kind of temperamental when it comes to layer heights and the environment around it. Nylon is one of those filaments that absorbs moisture very quickly, so it's advised that you print inside of an enclosure of some sort. So put a cardboard box or build a special enclosure around your CR10, but it can be done, yes. Brian Baker, so I asked earlier about fans on Facebook. Reason being, I brought a Noctua fan. Oh, I thought he was talking about our Facebook fans. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he bought a Noctua fan this weekend, 30 by 30 by 10, and installed it on the CR10S, but the airflow was insufficient, causing some skipping. Skipping is not caused by airflow. That expands what you said to me earlier. So I did talk with Brian a little bit earlier about this. Skipping is not caused by airflow.
No.
Skipping is caused by the jam either in the hot end itself or it is too close to the bed. That's where you'll get skipping. If there's a jam, two reasons could be causing the jam. One, you have way too much airflow. and that's cooling down the block on the 3D printer.
Heat creep.
It's not even heat creep. It's actually cool creep. What you will see is your temperature fluctuate up and down by as much as 5 degrees on either side of the scale, because it's trying to get back up there, so it's going to overheat, and then it's cooling really fast. So the Noctua fans are great fans. They're great silent fans. But again, just like I said before, replace it with a fan. Replace the stock fans with ball bearing fans, or Noctuas in this case, but don't alter that setup too much on a CR10 or a CR10S. The reason I say that is because over my testing with the machine, I now have 2 of them, my testing with that machine has proven to me that that cooling system is as efficient as it is ever going to be. And you should not mess with that system. Now, replacing the fans with ball bearing fans, much quieter fans, they last longer. You don't get that whirring sound that you get with sleeve bearing fans. So they are a better fan all around. But for me, that internal fan that blows onto the heatsink, that's the one I would have changed with a 40 by 40 by 10 and then just wired that one in. So now I have higher airflow fans on order with my other unit, which may be the final solution to the filament issues on my mini unit. Oh, he's got a CR10 mini as well. Okay, there's 3DP Iceland. Hi there. Ron M. Hello, sir. Canadian maker. There, much better, he says. I'm not sure what's going on there.
I'm happy that it's much better, whatever it happens to be.
Okay, let me have is there any questions on Facebook I need to know about?
No, there's a new listener, The Mute, on YouTube.
The Mute?
The Mute.
The Mute.
Who's asking a big question. Not so mute there, The Mute.
On Facebook?
No, sorry, on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yep.
The Mute. Hello, where can I find cosplay online shops or other printed things in general? What's the most expensive 3D printer object ever sold? That's a good question. I don't know what the most expensive 3D printer object is or has ever been sold for. There are several cosplayers out there. I don't know the name of them because I don't cosplay. I just make stuff. I would just do a general search for 3D printed cosplay. It might bring you to Thingiverse or My Mini Factory or any of that kind of stuff, but it definitely will help you. I know that wasn't much of an answer. He goes, sorry. No problem. So, Canadian Maker Project says, I finally got my CMP working on my iPad. Awesome. Now, one of the things I'm going to be doing here very soon is hooking up cameras to my printers. I am looking at AstroPrint right now. I'm going to do some testing with it. I've used Octoprint in the past. I think it works fine. It does disable some features on the CR10S, however. So I am going to go in and check that out. I want to make 2 Octoprint setups so that I can record the time lapses of the new projects coming up for you guys, and then you get to see even the failures. You guys will see the failures too when I mess it up.
Ben Coe's asking, is it possible to print PET-G with supports that doesn't basically fuse to the print? So
it is. You really have to, again, it's 2 things. It depends on the slicer that you're using and how customizable your supports can be. And 2, PET-G is just a very sticky material, so you may want to check that out. Tim Hoogland is privately messaging me during the show.
maybe he doesn't know you're doing a show.
Yeah, he's in our chat. For any of you guys that don't know who Tim Hoogland is, Tim Hoogland owns TH3D Studio. He is the maker of the Easy ABL system, which I have one of them on one of the showroom floor printers. he sent us for review. Love it. I think it works great. It's easy to install. I've done a whole video on installing it. I'm going to be working with Tim on a brand new installation video that you guys will be able to have when you purchase a new one. We're still working on dates and stuff like that, but we will be doing something in that vein. Okay. Maker Mikes would like to see more info on the time-lapse settings. Seen some really cool ones. Mine always seem choppy and way too fast. Time-lapse is one of those things that if you're using Octoprint, you can adjust the settings a little bit, how many frames, how many seconds, so on and so forth. Part of the choppiness comes from the buffering into the Raspberry Pi. If you have a computer that you can use that has memory that you can fill up with the buffer, that's a better way to go. Raspberry Pi has 1 gig of memory on it, if I'm not mistaken, like the Raspberry Pi 3. Mark L. Baker says, just bought another printer, waiting on Canada Post snail mail to deliver it. So I have now joined the CR10 community by purchasing the CR10 S5, 500 by 500, complete with the laser engraver. Good for you. Excellent. I'm jealous. Yes, I am. I don't have one of those.
Yeah, it sounds awesome, man. I'm like, what?
Tim says I didn't want to spam the chat. That's why he sent it to me privately. What else do we have here?
Ben Co's asking more questions about, still asking about PETG.
Okay.
And so, I don't know, I've been printing a lot PETG lately, and I've noticed that the settings need to be dialed in a lot closer than you would have to in a lot of with other filaments.
Yeah.
But once you do get that set, it prints so much better than just about everything
I
else.
agree. I agree. I think when it comes to PETG, here's a couple of caveats you might want to take and consider before printing with PETG. If you're printing on glass, make sure that you have a barrier between the glass and the print. So glue stick is an excellent way to go. The reason is that, here, I've got an old piece of glass right here. If you don't have, that's got a lot of glue stick on it.
Yeah.
If you don't have some sort of barrier between the glass and the glue stick, or the glass and the PETG, PETG will stick to glass without any adhesives, but it will also tear up your glass, which means it will pull chunks out of the glass, and then your glass is basically ruined. So always have a barrier between your PETG and your glass. So something to consider when moving to PETG. PETG is a great material. I use it quite frequently. I don't use it to do models like these. This is all PETG or PETG. No, what am I? PLA, that's what it is. See, my brain is fried. I was in the Okanagan up at that elevation way too long. I'm printing on PEI sheets on my Mark III using Windex.
I think it's the Windex that's causing him problems.
Ben, that could be your problem, is don't use Windex because Windex has ammonia in it. Ammonia does not like PEI, doesn't like anything that's got a sticky surface. What I would do is go and get yourself those isopropyl alcohol pads, which you can buy at Walmart for like $3, $3 or $4. Go and get those and clean your bed with that. Stop using Windex altogether, please.
Maker Mike's is back to the thing about time lapse.
Yep.
So he's asking about placement of the camera, and I think that's important.
That is important.
Place the camera.
It is. If you can tie your camera to the bed in some way or shape or form, that's going to give you the cleanest broadcast or recording of your time lapse. Why is that? Is because you're going to focus in your camera onto the actual print head. And that way what will happen is it will look like the print head is always sitting still if you've got your settings dialed in, and it'll just slowly rise up and your print will appear. It's actually really cool. So if you can tie it to the bed, tie it to the bed is what I'm saying.
What color is the skin on the girl on the left?
My left or your left?
Your left.
This one here?
I would imagine.
Or
it's
this
Vampirella.
one?
I would, because it's the one that's the most striking, I think.
This is Vampirella. This is Wonder Woman. Pick one. As soon as they pick, then I'll get into that. I was printing it straight on PEI. Benko says, I have the alcohol and use it every print to clean the bed. Someone on the maker forums recommended using Windex. They're idiots if they're recommended using Windex.
Yeah.
With PETG to protect the PEI. No. No. Do not use Windex. If you're going to do anything, PEI will chip just like glass will with PETG. So again, use some glue stick and then just wipe it off when you're done. Vampirella. Mute says Vampirella. What color is? What the question was about skin tone?
No, he means the actual paint link. I don't know,
Oh, the paint. I can't give you a paint link. I'm sad. You're going to be sad.
Well,
all of my skin tones on all of my figures are all custom mixed. I will tell you the recipe though. Get a pen. I'll give you a moment.
Got a pen? Everybody go get a pen.
Go get a pen and a paper. Or write it on the back of your hand or the strap on your underwear. I don't care. Okay. Here's how I do it. I take equal parts of burnt sienna, raw sienna, and white. Burnt sienna, raw sienna, and white. And the paints that I actually use to do the skin tone, Liquitex Basics. You can find them at any art store, any good craft store. You can find them on Amazon. Liquitex Basics. Then I just thin them down with a little bit of my own custom thinner that I make myself. And I've talked about this before, so I won't get into it too deeply, but burnt sienna, raw sienna, and white. Equal parts, you will get a very natural skin tone, and then you can, if you want something that's a little more Asian, you'll add more raw sienna. If you want something that's a little darker skin, you'll add more burnt sienna. See where I'm going with this? If you want a tan skin, you might dial back on the white just a little bit. If you want tan as a base. You can see here, the skin tone is drastically different on the two models. She's got a little bit more of a suntanned look to her. I still have to put in some of the red highlights. And that's part of what, you know, we're going to be doing on Patreon is we are going to be walking you through. Right now back here I am printing Luke Skywalker, and it's a bust, and we'll go through that as well and show you guys how to paint that, all the skin tones, all the different levels, all the different colors that I use, and I use probably a good 14 to 16 different color shades and different colors when I'm painting skin.
Brian Baker's asking a question. If you sand silk PLA, have you ever done that? Sanding silk
I have
PLA?
not sanded silk PLA, but I'm going to assume that it's very much like sanding any other PLA. I think what you will lose is that texture that it has.
The graininess of it.
Yeah, that soft feel to it.
So then when you put XTC on it,
yeah, you've totally lost it.
You'll lose that kind of shimmer
absolutely.
that you get, but it will still be interesting. Brian, you should try that. Take a picture and let me know what it looks like. Because that's something that's interesting. Another dumb question from Mark. That's what it says. Another dumb question is, what does the letters FR stand for on our 3D printer LCTS?
Flow rate. Flow rate. Flow rate.
Filament retention.
It is the flow rate.
It's the flow rate. Yeah.
Not filament retention. If you've got filament retention, you might want to see a doctor.
Call Frank and see me in the morning. Yeah. Hi, Don. Okay.
Hey, there's Don, the German printing nerd. We are 2:01, and we pretty much are at the end of our day today.
Okay, quick question from Derek.
Yeah,
on
quick
YouTube.
question. Okay, let me go to Derek. Still working on correcting my settings for Cura. Ruled out the TH3D update with Tim. I switched to Simplify 3D without success, so it must be something within the machine. That's a possibility. Derek, let's you and I get together this weekend, if you're okay with that. I will spend some time with you on Skype or on, on a Facebook phone call. We'll go through it that way. How's that sound? And we'll get that thing working for you.
There we go.
So that's pretty much our show today. I want to thank spool3d.ca for allowing us to come back to our home. He was teasing me. So remember, print it right, print it with spool3d.ca. They've got everything from filament to printers to parts, anything that you could possibly want. And they have just introduced the Mama Robot filament into their lines of filaments. So Mama Robot stuff is pretty nice. Check it out, try it out, tell me what you think. So check them out today at spool3d.ca. Print it right, print it with Spool3D. And I want to thank all of my Patreons. Again, you guys are the best because you guys help to keep this show going, to keep it afloat, and help me get the stuff that I need, paints and that sort of stuff. So again, we're making changes to Patreon. If you want to become a Patreon and help support the show, you can go to patreon.com/thefirstlayer and just sign up and help us out. Or if you got something out of today or you're just having fun and you want to buy me a coffee, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/thefirstlayer, and all that goes into the same pot at the end of the month, and we go and get what we need to spruce things up. With that said, thanks to Frank. Thank you to all the people from Pentacon that came out to see us. Thank you to our community members that came out to see us. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. You guys are amazing. And had a great time talking with lots of people live, so it was very cool. Next year, we'll try and do a little bit more live stuff from the booth. We are going back next year. Thanks to Frank. Thanks to the lovely Jess Cornett-Ching, who made me laugh, and just kept making me laugh all weekend. I had a great time with her. I got to see a little bit of Penticton. We went through the mountains coming back. It was a wonderful time. So until I see you guys again on Friday for our 100th episode, we're going to be partying right here in the studio with beer and cake and who knows what else. But Friday, join us at 1:30 Mountain Standard Time in the afternoon at 1:30 p.m. and help us celebrate our 100th episode. And it's because of you guys that I do this and I continue to do this, and I can't thank you enough for all of your support and all of your help in our communities. So until next time, remember the first layer is always your what? It's your foundation to a great print. See you later.